Hi, this is Joe Bolen, and welcome back to learning about VisualBasic.net. We're working on our text editor project, and we're ready to put into our project the print preview component so that we can look ahead to what is going to be printed and then decide whether we want to print or not. So this gives us an option to preview ahead of time and not waste paper. So let's take a look first of all where our documentation is for this particular video, as well as for all the videos that I'm creating, and we'll go take a look, and you'll see that at pastebin.com/u/jboh is where I have the code for this video and for other videos as well that I presented out at YouTube. And our text editor project main form, the screen capture is out at Imager, and you can go out there and take a look at that form and see how it looks, so that if you're designing your own, you can use it maybe as a model. And then lastly, you can always go to YouTube at Bolen Presents to see this video and other videos to learn about VisualBasic.net. So if you'd like, pause your video at this time and write down these links, and then you can later go back out to these sites and take a look at the code, study it more in detail, and maybe bring it into your own project for you to modify. Well, let's get into our project. I have Visual Studio up, and I have the Windows Designer showing at this moment, and we're going to be working on the print preview that we coded into the menu tool strip, and we're going to add to this the print preview component to allow us to easily preview our document. So let me bring up the toolbar, or toolbox I should say, and what I'm going to do is double click on the Print Preview Dialog component, and this will go to the component tray of our form. Okay, there we have it in our component tray. I have it highlighted. We'll just stay with Print Preview Dialog 1 for now, and that'll be fine. And you'll see there are a number of different properties that we can set, but we'll do that within our code as we code for this in our project. Okay, let's go back to our form, and remember that we're going into the print preview event of our menu tool strip. So let's go into the code behind the form and take a look at where we're at. Okay, I have that area up, and we're going to change our to-do area and change our message box and replace it with the code that I've already written to put in place. And I'll come on over here, paste it in, and let's talk about what I have in here. Okay, let me clean up a little bit here. What we're doing is we brought in the Print Preview Dialog component, and I'm using the with reserve word because we're going to be referencing this component with a couple of different properties that we want to set. And we put this all in a try-catch block in case there is some kind of error that occurs during our printing. Now what you do with the Print Preview Dialog component is you want to set ahead of time, before you do the show dialog, you want to set the properties that you're going to be using for the print preview. And one of the things we've done in our document is we've allowed the user to change the print range so they can selectively print. But for the print preview, we want to set it back. So at this point in this code, what I'm doing is changing the print range back to all pages. That way we will be able to see all the pages that are part of the document, and then later on when we go to the print, we could select specifically a page range if we want, and that will change that parameter. But for now we want to see all the pages of our print preview. Then the document of our print preview dialog 1, we want to set that to our print document 1 that we have already as our component in place. Now I've selected to use anti-alias to true what happens is the computer will smooth the font so it's easier to see and read. This has a little bit of degradation on performance as it's doing the print preview, but I've tested it and it's very minimal with the newer computers. Now, one particular property, the icon property, is not very well documented at Microsoft's MSDN site, but you can set the icon from its default to one that you have of your own. In this case, over in the resource area of my solution, I have the Bolen icon. You can see it there showing up. And what I'm going to do is reference that and set the icon to my resource Bolen icon. And so you'll see that in here. Now this, once again, is very poorly documented, but you can use your own icon. Now my particular icon is a multi-layered size icon. It has not only 16 by 16, but also has 32 by 32 and other sizes within it. And so you'll probably need at least a 32 by 32 bit icon size to use to make this work properly. If you don't have it, that's okay, but I happen to have my icon available, and I'm going to brand it a little bit with my personal touch. Now, as we set the properties, and we've got the document property set especially, we're ready to do the show dialog, and this brings up the print preview. Now, there are a couple things that could go wrong during that process, because basically it's going to be looking for a default printer and some other areas, and then also out of the print preview you can print. So we could have a problem. That's why we wrap this all in a try-catch area, and I'm doing just a general exception catch if we have it, and I am stating in the title area of the general exception that there's a print operation failed situation, allowing the user to see the message, gracefully say OK, and exit out of this module so that it doesn't cause the program to shut down. So we've got this in place. It's very simple coding. Let's watch it run in action. Okay, let me change the size a little bit so it's a little easier to see. And you'll see that I've got our text editor up and running. And what I'm going to do, since we already have this just hard-coded for a general overview of printing, I do not need to bring in a document to show. We'll do that later. But I want to show you the print preview. So I'm coming down, hitting the print preview now, and the printing occurs, and then we have the print preview dialog box that shows. We can change the size of it, and as you see here, we can see our test document that we printed in here, and it only has one page, so we don't have the ability to change our pages. And we can set 1 page, 2 page, up to 6 pages to see the layout of what we have, and then change our location within the document with our up and down option for the page number. We can also then change the zoom as well, and right now it's at auto, but if I wanted to see it at 100% to look at it, I could hit 100%. And we could see very easily our document within it. So this has a nice features. We can take a look at everything before we print it, and then if we choose to print it, we just hit the print button and it'll go to the printer. Or we can cancel out by hitting the close or hitting the close form little X red button at the top right corner. Okay, so we've got that in place. Remember, all we did was we had set up in our tool strip for the print preview event, and it fired off the printing process and allowed us to look at our document to see if we're happy with what we have. Also, as we have more pages later on, we'll look at the pages we want to print, and then we'll go to the file print, as we've done already with our print dialog. And we'll choose a range that we'd like to use instead of all pages. So this gives us the ability to change things as we decide how we want to print and what we want to print. So I hope you will put in the Print Preview Dialog into your program. It's very easy to do. You saw that I just dragged or dropped the Print Preview component into the form. It goes to the component tray. We can configure some of the things there if we want, but I did it in code. There are only a couple of things we need to set. The important thing is to set the Print Preview Dialog 1 document property to your print document 1 so that it matches up your document to what you want to see. And then I also added the icon, so it branded it to show my particular icon versus the default icon, and use the anti-alias ability so that the fonts are smoother on the screen. So please put that in, because it will save you from killing a lot of trees, and it'll give you a chance to look ahead and make certain that what you're planning to print is really what you want to print, and you can see it ahead of time and then choose to print it out. So please put that in and try it out. Go out to pastebin.com and take a look at the code I have for you, and also take a look at the other videos to get an idea and understanding of how to print. So until next time, get your hands dirty in the code and take care.